independence is often perceived as self-determination. And for a nation which was escaping colonialism 75 years ago, this definition made complete sense. However, for marketing as a business function, for me, it means getting the space to do justice to your role to the best of your ability, right? And therefore, the equally big question is, what is a marketer's role? So for me, it is simply to serve brands and serve customers. As long as you have the space to serve your brand or brands and your customers to the best of your ability, you have independence, right? And see, a marketer's work is customer facing, and hence one will always get inputs, feedback, builds, from stakeholders. But independence is the space to take inputs which you think serve the brands and let go of the rest. So closer home at HP, for example, we did Diye Se Diya Jalao, we did Thodi Si Jagah Bana Lo campaigns on Diwali last 2 years, and they went viral. And then we did the Alisha Garima series, which drove meaningful differentiation for the brand. Now, these are all products of an intact team, which got the space to think with these overarching objectives in mind, right? So, see, on the second question on how do you really build independent thinking, I think you have to first build the capability to think, right? And then you have to build a certain fearlessness. And for me, it really comes from these three roots. Firstly, bring the outside in. For example, at HP, we try to build a culture of sharing impactful work, not only within the team, but from outside. Work which is fresh and is pushing boundaries. And just give the rest of the team a chance to critique it. And, judge creatives, judge media, so that you get a, certain outside in view, plus build a capability to think beyond what you are thinking about every day. The second big piece is structured learning. So for HP, every marketer in the team carries certain learning goals along with business goals. And then secondly, we try to drive rotation across consumer, commercial roles, across our businesses. And that gives, I think, a great chance to do structured learning and again, develop perspectives which are beyond your immediate role or business or category you are dealing with. The third big one is on-the-job learning and, building space for experimentation and long-term commitment to ideas which, marketers come up with. So if you look at all our content programs, like the HP Print Learn Center, the HP Creators Garage, the Own Playground, they all came from independent ideas which were conceptualized and then taken from 0 to 1 by marketers. Yeah. So thirdly, on doing a SWOT analysis for marketing as a function, it's an interesting one, and that it really kind of racked my brains. But when I was looking at strengths, there's a host of strengths which marketing has. But if I were to just pick one or two, I would first talk about its ability to drive advantage for the business at scale, right? I think one perception change driven by one great experience, which is either a content consumption experience or a physical experience in the minds of your customers, it can scale revenue, it can scale profitability for years to come, right? And I think that's one great advantage which marketing has. Secondly, I think taking a customer backward 4P point of view, right, which cuts across 4Ps. I think very few functions within organizations today have that capability. And it's because marketing is, so close to the customer and looking at how they are reacting to every element of the 4Ps every day. It gives a particular strength to the marketing function. I think on weaknesses, marketing has a tendency to become, subservient to an idea rather than the brand and the customers. And it is not just the marketer. I think everyone who participates in ideation of what marketing should do really has to guard against this weakness. On opportunities, I think immense opportunities exist for marketers today, and a lot of them enabled today by technology. So I truly believe that the big opportunity is to be at the forefront of digital transformation of the entire organization. And as customers really adopt tech as part of everyday life, marketers have an opportunity to be a step ahead and enable digital experiences, obviously enabled by tech for the brand. I think particularly content-led experiences, which can really serve the brand and serve customers at the same time. When it comes to threats, again, there are lots of them, honestly, but if I were to pick one, I think marketing has to be wary of becoming self-serving, right? And the problem is that when you become self-serving as a marketing practitioner, there will not be a lot of people around to correct you. Yeah. So one has to be conscious, right? Secondly, you see all these, platforms and walled gardens which are springing around us, and those can be a big threat to marketing because they can really constrain your ability to do what you want in terms of creative communication. And therefore, we have to find new answers every day to work around those constraints. I think, thirdly, getting bullied into really becoming short term oriented just because you can measure impressions, measure clicks, and measure visits. You can sometimes let these metrics bully you to really become short term oriented and lose track of your North Star, which is again serving customers and serving the brand for it to become stronger. Yeah. So that I would really would say is a SWOT analysis for the brand for me.